So let me introduce green technologies, or zielona technologia. We created this direction as a continuation from, and I don't know if you're familiar with, the old direction of study created in the 80s, Environmental Protection and Management, EPM. And this direction had kind of aged quite significantly, and around 10 years ago we updated this direction to something known as green technologies. And we also included in that direction now a master direction of study, so you can study there also for your masters, not only for your bachelors. And basically the aim of that direction is to prepare students for future environmental problems that society will face. We are all at the cusp of an environmental crisis of some sort, societal, environmental crisis, and it is not debatable that these problems have to be solved somehow. They do. The aim of the study is to prepare you for that, to make you interesting to possible employers, to research bodies, to governmental bodies, that you become an expert or specialist in that, right? So there we are looking at environmentally friendly solutions to industry, being one of them. We are looking at learning to apply methods for removal of contaminants, so how to clean up environmental problems that occur, and there are more than enough environmental problems out there. To discuss the state of contamination and use analytical techniques. And many of the courses that are within this direction of study are in conjunction with the Department of Analytical Chemistry. You will learn how to solve these technological processes for industry, for engineering purposes, and so on. You know, so we are looking at designing, implementing, modifying, and optimizing industrial green technologies. The idea is to create a direction of study for students that become future-proof. And this is something that I will talk about in a few slides on. Okay, so what is the actual structure? For the master's degree, it's 1.5 years, as all of the others. Enrollment is for the summer and in the winter semester. And the winter semester enrollment is aimed particularly at international student intakes, and of course we offer it in both English and Polish. It's meant to be based as a hands-on course. So you are not just here to learn the dry skills in a lecture theatre, but you're actually there to learn hands-on experience in the laboratory, to learn practical skills that you will need later on. So that when you go to your employer and he asks, well, what have you learned? And you can recite various techniques, but you actually, when faced with a piece of equipment, you say, I actually know how to use it because I have done it in the past. And that is valuable. I myself studied at the University of Newcastle in Australia, and that was one of the most valuable pieces of training that I got from those studies there. And we had, when we made this, I wanted to pass that on, that hands-on experience. So it is laboratory intensive. Yeah? It's there for you to get your hands dirty for that sole purpose, right? So it's focused on specialist techniques, on a whole variety of techniques. Yeah? So basically we're looking at environmental analysis and monitoring, microscopy, analytical techniques, as I said, environmental contamination, energy and waste management, process engineering technologies, risk safety, and so on. So this is basically the skills that you'll take away with you, where we are looking at imparting skills, not just knowledge, but actual skills that you can use later on, whether or not you decide to go into industry or whether or not you want to continue in academia. and you want to continue on as a PhD, and if you do want to continue on as a PhD, we also have here how to write scientific articles. So about how science works, about how article writing works, about how grant application writing works, and so on. Valuable skills that you will have not just for the masters, but something for later on. Whether or not you do a PhD, whether or not you go later on into industry, you have to write reports, you have to present. These are skills that you will take with you because you practice them. Everything here is about practicing something. Okay. So basically, of course, you will also have the ability, as with all of the other directions at our faculty, to participate within Erasmus. Now, I'm not going to say anything about the Polish directions of study, but of course, if you study in English and you want to participate in Erasmus, you're already a step up on the rest, because Erasmus, of course, is always going to be in English. And if you did your studies in English already, or you are studying English, you have that step up, because you already have that vocabulary that is necessary now to do that additional step. It's much easier for you to look abroad. It's much easier to look in a broader European perspective because you have that English background already. You are not, I'm not going to say restricted, but you have a broader set of options. And when you do continue on with a PhD, you do need to specify, at least at our university, that you have B2 level English. Unless, and now this is the clue, you have completed studies already in English. Our studies is in English. So having completed that means you get to tick that box, studies completed in English. And that doesn't apply just to our university, but a large number of possibly other universities as well. So consider that. Now, it is another set of skills that you will take with you, and it is a set of skill that is verifiable. Yeah? Not just Polish studies, but also English studies. Okay, so very often the question that we have is, what can you do with that? Yeah, what does it mean? What is my future? Yeah, you have to look ahead, you have to look forward. It's nice that we are here to convince you to study at our faculty, to do your master, but what happens after that investment? Because it is your investment, it is your time, and it is your money. So what is in that investment? Well, there is a whole set of jobs that you can go for from that. Yeah? Ranging from a variety of engineers, here, energy specialists, waste management, environmental analysts, biotechnology, research scientists, sustainability managers, consultants, academics, project managers, and regulatory specialists. And these are all possible career paths that are open to you. Now, it's nice to have it on paper, but actually I have it, at least I did the research in my LinkedIn profile. All of my graduates, and I've been working here almost 20 years, all of my graduates that worked in environmental protection and management or green technologies, and so that are first connections with me on LinkedIn, and I checked my own profile. Of course, this is not in any way a complete list, and this is not a statistical representation of what the graduates of green technologies are doing. Please do not misinterpret that. Yeah? However, it is a source of information that you can get some idea of what graduates from green technologies are doing. So you're looking here, most of the people that graduate go into either higher education, research, or other information technologies and services. Some of them work with chemical industries, environmental services, biotechnology, energy and manufacturing. So these are the industries that people are looking at. And what kind of job titles do people give themselves after graduating at either environmental protection or green technologies? And here you have the job titles of where they are. Yeah? This is what people that graduated from green technologies or environmental protection and management call themselves now. And you can see they all have pretty good jobs. Yeah? They're here, senior front-end developer, postdoctoral researcher in the States, environmental health and safety aspect. Somebody's working in Intel. I have somebody working in Zurich, in a med company. Here we have got somebody working in State Street, obviously not related to green technologies, but working as an officer, engineer in a biotechnological company, and so on. Yeah, so this is what people end up with. Yeah. And of course, how future-proof is that work? Because of course, it's not just the work now. We're all worried about how large language models are going to influence our future and your future, right? Because you are on that cusp about what's going to happen now with AI. So how useful is your work with AI coming? So how future-proof is it? Well, to give you an idea about what your outlook is for the future, right? Green technologies is, of course, partially about energy generation. And we have now an increase in energy production from green sources. And it's going to continue to increase, which places a clear demand on future professionals and specialists in that energy field, if you want to go in that direction. That includes solar energy. We are looking at marketing consulting worldwide has increased 4.4% since 2023. So environmental consulting is definitely on the increase. Again, there is an option there for you. EU policy definitely indicates a push towards green, sustainable solutions. So the Green European Deal aims to make the EU climate neutral by 2050. So that push is clearly there on a European basis. And what about AI? Well, there are, of course, lots of green tech startups that provide novel solutions based on data that you can now mine from everywhere. And what are you going to do with that data and that information? Well, you need multidisciplinary teams of data specialists and environmental specialists that are able to make sense of it. It's good that we have AI to do one thing, but without that technical skill, that specialist knowledge, it's not going to work. And of course, we have cross-sector roles, professionals in data analysis, system integration, that bridge the gap between practical implementation, this is where we are coming from, and the new AI. And of course, policies will change. And we need experts in environmental law, environmental policy development, to be able to handle those global sustainability goals. Now, so I do think, and this is my opinion only, but I do think that there is clearly a future within that direction. Now, don't just listen to me. We also have here a graduate of green technologies, and her name is Natalia Wojcinska. She graduated, and she will tell you where she graduated. She is my graduate and my current PhD student, and she is currently working in industry. And she is going to briefly outline what her timeline was, and she's going to tell you a little bit about the studies and so on. Please.
Hey, so hello everyone. It's really nice to meet you and see all of you. My name is Natalia Wojcinska, and I was studying the environmental protection and management. I have started around 10 years ago, and you know, for that time, this topic was understood in a different way. Now it really developed. Now it's more the awareness, you know, of the importance of this topic is increasing. But 10 years ago it was kind of different awareness. And I have finished at 2018. Then I started, and I was the last year that was doing the environmental protection and management. So it was the last year. Now this direction is called the Green Technologies and Monitoring. Of course, some changes have been implemented and it developed a lot. And then I have started as a first year the Green Technologies and Monitoring, the second degree. So I have started in 2018. And you know, as it was a first, as we were a first people that had started this direction, it of course gave to us a lot of opportunities. A harder time as a student, you may know, because there were no clear, let's say, directions of materials and so on. So that was a very nice experience to be the first. Then I have started a PhD. I am a current PhD student of Professor Christian. I have started in 2020. Well, I put here that I finished in 2024 because I finished the education at PhD school. Now I am waiting for my defense, so that's why. And after I have finished my PhD, I started to work in a company in Flextronics International, Poland. So I am now a PhD student in chemical sciences still, and also a junior environmental specialist at international company. And I also have performed my research not only at Gdańsk University of Technology, but also I cooperated with Dezhou University in China. I did there the experiments concerning my master degree, and I also part of my experimental work during my PhD I have done at University of Granada, and I also took part in a blended intensive program at Agriculture Institute in Rennes in France. So, as you may see, not only Gdańsk University of Technology, but also the cooperation with other universities. And here is what I would like to tell you about studying the environmental protection directions concerning the environmental protections. So it's not, these directions are not only concerning the environmental protection, but also the waste management and management by itself. So this gives you the opportunity to study the hot topic in another language. And why is it important? You know, the environmental protection is really important now in a lot of companies. And you may think that when you are saying environmental protection, what do you think? Well, you are thinking of solar panels, wind turbines, some energy resources. But of course, this is important, but not only this. You know, there is a lot of different companies that we have visited during our studies, and they showed us how they concern the topic of environmental protection, why these topics are important in their companies, and how different knowledge is used in this kind of companies. And also the case of studying in another language, you know, it gives you a really great opportunity to study in an English language. Nowadays, English is treated, I would say, as a very valuable thing when you are applying, when you are looking for a job, and when you want to develop your scientific career. So any direction you will go, the English language is important. Why? Because everybody understands this language, yes? You can easily cooperate with people by knowing this language. You can be implemented in a lot of projects in your future work concerning some cooperation with people from abroad, with people that are not talking in a Polish language, but in an English language. So it also gives you the opportunity to develop your career. And, you know, this kind of studying in English, it's another level of knowing English. Because when I was coming for environmental protection and management, I had some I was thinking that I know English at a very good level because I was doing the developed direction at high school because, you know, I had a lot of additional classes, I was talking in English and so on. But when I was starting, when I have started studying in English, it turned that my knowledge of a technical language is not so great, you know. And it took a lot of time and it took a lot of work to understand it in a different way and also to develop the skills. So this is a really great opportunity to try yourself and to give yourself a chance. What else? It is a multidisciplinary direction because it does not only concern the topic of chemistry, but also from the mechanical department, also the management department. So you will have classes with different lecturers, not only from the chemical faculty. And as I said, not only the technical English, but also the scientific English. This is also kind of different type of an English when you are really have to be familiar with words, with for example, with scientific articles, and these studies are giving you this opportunity to know it better, to be familiar with this. So as I showed you, the cooperation with another countries, at first the English language is giving you this chance because you can cooperate with other people, but also there is a lot of opportunities to use it for yourself, to meet other universities, to meet their requirements, to increase your boundaries of cooperation with people. And this is very important because when you will go to work, you will know how difficult it is, let's say, to be in a new environment when everybody are knowing you as a new person, but you are knowing nobody, and you have to get familiar with these people. You have to cooperate with them. You have to make some projects with them, meetings, and so on. In this meeting, people from other countries, from other cultures, will increase your ability with cooperation with people. So as I said, also the directions are giving you the opportunity to visit real industries which put great attention to environmental protection. So you will not only have the theoretical knowledge from people from university, but also the practical knowledge. And as of theoretical knowledge, you will also be familiarized with current law requirements, which are really important, which sometimes it's really hard to study them, but it will give you the first sight. As about my current career, so as I told you, I am working at Flextronic International Poland in Czech. And this is the international companies. As you may see, there is a lot of number of companies all over the world. And the studies partially had prepared to develop my career at Flex because part of the work that I was doing at university also is part of my current work at Flextronics, or also I can use these skills to do it, such as preparation of some reports of environmental protection, dealing with regulations, law regulations such as REACH, CLP, and so on. Also the participation in internal and external audits, support employees in the field of environmental protection. That's kind of really challenging part of the work, as you have to not only use your own knowledge, but you also have to share this knowledge and be sure how to share it with another people. So I think that that's it from my side. Thank you very much.